Yo, Max here. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the importance of your flow state. So tonight we went out, we had an amazing night, we met a lot of girls, and it's so funny because before going out tonight, I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk to people, I didn't want to meet girls, I didn't want to have sex, I just wanted to stay home and play video games. But I know one thing. I know that if I want to, I can change my mood and I can change my emotions. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do the same. I'm going to teach you how to go against your emotions to, when you feel bad, simply stop feeling bad. Here is the situation. You're home, it's Friday night, Saturday night, you know you should basically go out and socialize. But here's the thing, you're not in the mood. You feel like shit, you had a terrible day, maybe you had a terrible week, and you're just not in the mood. You're kind of depressed, you want everything but to talk to new people. Which is kind of sad because you know this is actually what you need to do if you want to better your social life. You're not going to meet girls if you don't go out to meet girls. But again, you're in a shitty mood and you don't want to. What if I told you that there is a way to control that? What if I told you that there is a way to stop basically being depressed on demand, to stop not wanting to go out and to actually go out and to turn from this little angry, depressed gremlin into your most sociable self on almost the snap of a finger? So here is the thing, your emotions are fleeting. Your emotions can change, your mood can change. And there is a way to proactively go out of your way, to proactively push your emotions towards another direction than the direction you are going for. It's not easy. You won't want to, and that's kind of the point. You are going to do it because your emotions push you to do something else. But you're going to do a few things that I'm going to explain to you in a second that will change your emotions, that will change your mood. The goal is to, little by little, stop being so angry, stop being so anxious, stop being so depressed, stop being so black-pilled towards women and towards people who are having fun in general. Because when we're in a logical mood, when we feel bad about ourselves, when we don't want to be social and sociable, we basically tend to judge other people who are being social. Like, why are those people being social? Like, life is horrible. Why would they be happy and be careless and have fun talking to strangers? I can't do that. I don't want to do it. The goal is to push you to go from this state to a more relaxed state in which you are just happy to talk to people without any kind of overthinking. And so I said it's going to happen on a snap of a finger. Maybe I was exaggerating a little bit, but it can happen in the span of 30 to 60 minutes. As long as you know what you're doing and that you control what you are doing. So let me explain. The flow state is basically this state of mind in which you are not going to judge anything that you say anymore, and everything that comes through your mind is going to freely be expressed to the people in front of you, be it guys, be it girls. The point is that you're going to be able to speak without thinking what you're saying, like minimal thinking, pretty much the same of what's happening right now when I'm talking to the camera. Minimal thinking. But the goal is to make sure that you're unfiltering your speech. Of course, stay relatable to the person in front of you, but stop judging what you're going to say so much. And we're gonna get there again by changing your mood. It's very useful to reach this flow state because girls love it. Girls love a guy who's able to speak his mind unfiltered, as opposed to a guy who comes up to her very awkward, very unsure of himself, always overthinking what he's going to say, a little bit meek because he doesn't really believe in what he's going to say, because he's thinking too much. We want to avoid that, and reaching the flow state will help you. So like I said, tonight I went out and I really didn't want to, but I know what to do to basically change my mood and to turn from depressed to sociable. It's a bunch of small steps. So I will take, for example, what I did tonight. First, I came to a very loud bar, which was probably a mistake, because the goal is to start easy. You don't go from being super logical and in your head and shy to super extroverted by just going to a loud place. Instead of trying very hard to get with the mood of the party, which was very far away from my mood at the time, I went to another bar that was a little bit more relaxed. A bar in which people were playing pool. So I went there, I talked to a few people, I started playing pool with them, I threw a few jokes here and there. 30 minutes later, I was already in a bit of a more sociable mood. I was less logical, depressed about life, because you know how it is sometimes when you spend days working being very logical. The first time you go to a social event, you sound like a robot because you've been logical for so many days in a row. You need to start building this social momentum. The goal at this point in the night is to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Take all this angry, logical, depressed, bitter energy and to stretch it into you being more sociable and carefree. So for example, what I did at the time, I saw a girl who looked pretty nice and I thought to myself, what can be more fun and less serious and less logical to get myself out of this logical mood? Okay, I like her hair. She reminds me of Nicki Minaj. I will just go up to her and tell her that she looks like Nicki Minaj. It makes no fucking sense, but that's the point. Because when you're in this logical mood, when you're totally outside of the flow state, your brain will push you to keep being logical and to not say things that are not logical, to not say fun things. You have to get out of this mood. It's not going to feel comfortable. Your brain is going to throw a million excuses at you, like, you can't say that, this is so fucking dumb, people are going to hate you if you say that. Again, that's the point. Push through, say the fun thing, say the illogical thing. Even if you get rejected, it doesn't matter. Remember, at this point, the goal is only to change your mood to become more sociable. Anyways, I did it. Turns out the boyfriend of the girl was right next to her, so when I started touching her hair, the guy kind of pulled the girl away. That happens. But by that point, I was more in a sociable mood already. I was even more in a sexual mood. And that's how you're going to do this. You're going to enter this flow state by being more and more fun, more and more illogical, and more sexual. So for example, the next girl I approached right after was by telling her that the huge tattoo that she had on her back was pretty nice. Yes, this is not good game, but again, that's my point. When you're in a bad mood, your goal is not to have good game and to be super smooth. When you're in a bad mood, your goal is only to control your mood and to enter again that flow state that works so well, because when you are in that flow state, this is when you actually have game and it's effortless. Anyways, I kept going like that, opening girls by being every time a little bit more fun, a little bit more illogical, a little bit more sexual. And what you will notice happen when you do this is that the more you do it, the less you care about the results, the more fun you become, more carefree you become, and the more girls actually enjoy talking with you. And the more girls enjoy talking with you, the more you become comfortable with the fact you're talking to more and more girls, the more confident you become, the easier it becomes to be sexual. It's all about having this thought at the beginning of realizing, okay, now I'm not in the flow state, I'm in a bad mood. What can I proactively do to get out of this comfortable bad mood, to put myself out there and get back to this flow state again, in which I don't care about anything, I just speak my mind. I go up to girls by telling them that they are sexy, by asking them to introduce themselves to me, because I really believe that I want to meet them and I don't care about being rejected. So eventually, this is the flow state you want to reach by pushing yourself here and there and again until you enter that flow state. Usually it takes from, let's say, 5 to 10 approaches. Tonight, I did this, my wings did not, and I used this opportunity to take notes of the things that they could have done to actually enter that flow state. So let's talk about the mistakes that kill your state. First, we have smoking. If instead of approaching girls, you take a break to go smoke a cigarette, well, you're not talking to a girl. You can cheat a little bit and ask a girl for a cigarette and talk with her outside. Plus, on top of that, smoking is going to, without getting into details, release a bunch of chemicals in your body, and that's basically going to make you sleepy. Maybe not you in particular, but most people, this is what it does to them. Basically, the more you smoke, the less you're gonna want to talk to girls, and the less you will have the energy and motivation to talk to girls. Then, having more than a couple drinks. If you need alcohol to find the courage to talk to girls, like, I have a strong opinion about that. Personally, I don't drink because I think when you don't drink, your mind is clearer and sharper and you beat all the competition. When it's 2 a.m. and all the other guys are drunk trying to pull your girl, like, there is not even a competition. They can't talk straight. You can beat them, no problem, because you're sober and because you're confident sober. But not drinking is not super easy for most people because we're not conditioned to not drink. So if this is something that's interesting to you, and I really recommend, it's going to require a little bit of practice. Point is, if you get fucked up drunk, you're not gonna be in a state to really game girls. It might give you a little bit of confidence, but that's the thing with alcohol. You go from 0 to 100 extremely quick, but very quickly after you go back to 0. And on top of that, the next day you have a terrible hangover, you can't go out and game girls again. When you proactively try to enter that flow state, instead of going immediately from 0 to 100, you are maybe going to go from 0 to 10, then to 20, then to 30, 40, 50, and eventually you reach 100. But that's the thing. Then you stay at 100 for the rest of the night. Mistake number 3, talking to your male friends instead of talking to girls. See, the thing is that guys are very, very logical, and I love my friends, I love talking to them, but as guys, they are less fun than girls. Or at least when I talk to my male friends, because they are more logical than women who are usually more emotional, I am having more logical conversations with them. And again, being logical is going to destroy your flow state. The goal is to be relatable to women. The goal is to give women the emotions that they react well to actually sleep with them at the end of the night. The less logical you are, the more fun you are, the more silly and making no sense you are, the better, and the more you're going to talk to girls, the more logical you're going to become again. So try to avoid. You can talk to your friends between 2 approaches, but the goal still should be to spend most of your time approaching girls. Don't use talking to your friends as a crutch because you're afraid to talk to other girls. Another big one, judging yourself and your approaches. You're going to approach girls, and at first you're going to be in a bad mood. If you keep judging yourself, you're going to stay in that bad mood. That's why the point is not to make it work with the first few approaches that you're going to do. Remember, the first few approaches, they are just there to put you at ease, to relax a little bit with the concept of being sociable and sexual again. Another one I noticed tonight, focusing on being chill instead of taking action. You know, the guy who goes like, oh, you know, I had a terrible week, plus yesterday I drank so much, today I'm hangover, I'm just gonna chill by the bar today, and if a girl comes, I'm gonna talk to her, but I will not put a lot of effort in it. Okay, I like where this is coming from. But if you do this and you still don't approach, you're never gonna get out of this kind of depressed, lazy mood. And the girls will feel it when you talk to them, and the guy who is in his flow state, even if it's a really relaxed flow state, the guy who's in his flow state is going to steal all the girls from you. See, that's the point. You don't need a lot of energy to approach girls and to flirt with girls. You can be very relaxed, very chill, very smooth, but still you have to unfilter your speech and you have to take a ton of action and approach a lot of girls. Taking action is literally the thing that generates the flow. This is what's going to show your brain that talking to people is actually enjoyable. Basically, you're going to prove your brain wrong when it comes to talking to people. You're going to approach more and more people, and you're going to show your brain little bit by little bit that actually people enjoy talking with you, or at the very least that you survive after you're approaching a girl that you like. Don't rush into things, take small steps, but still take steps. Honestly, if you just add this flow state to a proper system when meeting girls, you're going to generate so much attention, so much attraction, and you're going to end up looking so charismatic that you're going to have amazing nights every time you go out. If you don't have a system yet, by the way, check out the link right below this video. This is the one I use. We're getting great results with this one. I really recommend. But yep, that's pretty much it for today. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.